Question 1b, we're working with the same side lengths as before. We know that this is a right triangle, so we can use this table that we've put together to try and estimate the degrees in each acute angle. We know it's going to have a 90-degree angle because that's the definition of a right triangle. So we have this angle down here that's 90, and we are going to approximate our two acute angles here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label my triangle with the three different side lengths. So 8 I'm going to put down here, 15 I'm going to put over here, and 17 obviously is going to be my hypotenuse. So depending on which angle you're looking at, the legs are going to change label. So if this is the angle that I'm looking at right here, okay, then that means that this side over here is my opposite, and this side is my adjacent. Okay, and obviously this one is my hypotenuse. Okay, so depending on which one you prefer, you could do any one of these three and it should tell you approximately what your angle measure is. So if I do the adjacent over the hypotenuse, just because that's my first one over here, I get 8 divided by 17. So if we do 8 divided by 17, we get 0.471. We're going to round to 3 decimal places because that's what's in the table, 0.471. So we're going to look for this in our table under the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse, because that's what we did. We did the adjacent divided by, whoops, the hypotenuse. Okay, so I'm going to look in that column for 0.471, and you can see that it's somewhere in between these two, and it's probably a little bit closer to 60 than to 70. So I'm going to go with like 63 degrees. So I'm going to say that this angle here in the corner is approximately 63 degrees, which means that this angle up here would have to be approximately 27 degrees. But just to be sure, because we know that these two angles here have to add up to 90 degrees because all three of the triangles have to add up to 180. This one is already 90, so the two remaining angles have to add up to 90. So just to make sure, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to use this angle now. So we're going to call this angle Y now. And now this is our opposite, and this is our adjacent. So now using this angle, let's do the opposite over the hypotenuse, which we already know is 0.471, but because we're using the opposite and the hypotenuse, we're going to look in this one. So we're looking for 0.471 again. It's in between these two, and it's probably a little bit closer to 30 than it is to 20, so 27 makes sense.